What's up, world? It's your girl 𝚘𝚐𝚐𝚗𝚜, aka Shy, aka Blue Lotus. Welcome to my podcast From Within, where we investigate, discover, and practice the ways to remedy and heal external problems from deep within. So on today's episode, I actually want to talk about acceptance. Acceptance has been a theme for me this week, personally, and I've been offering it as a theme to my clients as well, my private clients. And it's very fitting for the fall season, especially, right? Because fall is all about letting go and releasing, and acceptance is also about letting go and releasing to some extent. So they really go hand in hand. I think it's very fitting to let this be the theme, which when I originally decided to take on this intention, it was a challenge to myself for 24 hours, and I've turned it into daily. And so I'm here to talk about this state of acceptance and in what way I mean it as I speak of it. And I also challenge you to take on acceptance for the next 24 hours. So this episode, is going to dive a little deep into acceptance and mindfulness, because this is going to take some level of mindfulness to practice this mind state of acceptance. You're going to have to be aware, right, of when you're not practicing acceptance so that you can implement acceptance in that moment. And that takes mindfulness. So before I get into it, though, let's just talk about how this even came up for me. I was on either watching Instagram stories or TikTok, and Sadhguru, as you guys should know by now, I'm a huge follower of. One of his stories came along, and it was talking about acceptance, and that was the challenge that he offered for the next 24 hours. Be in a state of acceptance, accepting everything as it is, the way it is right now. So I sat and I contemplated on that when I heard it, and I said, I think that's what I need right now. I think that's what I need to do. As I'm doing, I guide. So as I do and as I learn and as I search, I also share that with my clients. Whatever it is that I'm going through or learning about or discovering, I am also shedding light on those things with my clients as well. It's a journey for the both of us, not just my clients. And I feel like the best way to learn something is to teach it at the end of the day. So acceptance, I took on this challenge, and it goes a little something like this. So for the next 24 hours, be in a state of acceptance, meaning to accept all things that come across your awareness as they are, as is, without feeling a strong desire to change, fix, solve. All day, we go through all the things that we are not fond of about ourselves, or just the things that we want to improve. We all have improvements that we want to make, right? And that's great. We should. That's how we evolve. But there should be some type of balance, because everything is about balance, right? It's really easy to go from, okay, I'm self-improving and evolving and growing, and it's kind of easy to slip into being a little overly self-critical, self-judgmental, or even judgmental of others when you're on that kind of journey of self-improvement. You tend to get judgmental towards others, especially those who are maybe not on the same journey that you are on, or they're not in the same place that you're at in their journey. And so this practicing of acceptance, I feel like, is just a really great way to keep stable and balanced and open-minded and aware and awake and in all of those things as you're journeying to this better not new, but improved version of yourself, as you journey into the essence of your higher self, is basically what you're wanting to take on. When we look to self-improve. I feel like that's us wishing to connect to our higher selves. The things that we want for ourselves, we want them, we are aware of them because our higher selves embody that already. So that's the same as saying you already embody all these qualities and things that you are working so hard to achieve. You already embody that. You just haven't realized it yet. It's really, that's why they call it the path of self-realization. It's not that you lack anything right now. It's just that you don't realize who you are and what you have access to right now. And so this is the path of self-realizing. I think I went a little bit off track, so let's rewind. Acceptance. I felt as if a lot of the unknown, unidentifiable, heavy quality emotions that I have been feeling lately could possibly be a result of not accepting something about right now, whether that's about myself or a situation or a project or, anything. We all have something that we are looking forward to really achieving. And so when we're looking forward to it and we're working towards this future desire or goal, we tend to downplay and water down the present, the right now. And then when you do that, you're not in a state of gratitude. And that brings about a feeling of heaviness and unsatisfaction or unmotivation right now in the present. I think that a lot of us experience this from time to time. It's not like a constant thing. It's like a wave. It comes and goes. This experience that I'm talking about, this human experience that I'm talking about, that I know I'm not the only one who experiences. And so I feel like the remedy to that is acceptance. I feel like the remedy, bringing your fire back, because being in that state, the state of not being satisfied or content with your right now, that dims your light. It's dimming and watering down your now experience, and it's dimming your own inner light, your fire, because you're losing that fire. That fire is diminishing, and you can feel that in your emotions. You can feel that in your actions. And so we're looking to remedy this by reigniting that fire, right? By coming back to that positive state of being and coming back to that gratitude and coming back to the present, to the right now. Because normally when you're in that more depressive state, you are definitely not in the present. You are in the future or the past, but most likely the future. And so what is the solution? What is the remedy? It's coming back to the present. It's mindfulness. It's acceptance of things as they are right now, of who you are right now, of who your loved ones are right now, your friends, family, everyone, and everything around you. The way that they are right now is fine, is beautiful, and is accepted. And isn't that unconditional love? And shouldn't we be practicing that with each other? That's what we say that we should be doing. That's what we as a collective, I believe, most of us are working towards being able to do, is demonstrate unconditional love, not just to our partners, but just to people in general, to each other. And how do you do that? You're going to have to know how to practice acceptance. So me feeling like acceptance and, taking on this challenge that Sadhguru mentioned, I felt like, okay, I could really use this right now. This is going to be good for me, and I'm going to share it with everyone as I'm doing it too. And as always, that's what I do, and that's what I did, and that's what I'm doing. So for the next 24 hours, accepting things as they are, people, behaviors. Please don't think that acceptance is parallel to settling or, doesn't mean you shouldn't have boundaries. It doesn't mean that as you're practicing acceptance that you become careless, basically. You can still be very fiery about what you're working towards and what you're trying to achieve. You can still have that energy that you're displaying now that's fueling you to be able to go after these things or versions of yourself. Whatever is fueling your journey, you want to keep that there. Being in acceptance is, while doing that, while working towards your evolution and your realization, you can also still at the same time be content with right now. You don't want to, you're not trying to escape anything. That's what we have to realize when we're on these journeys. Try your best to refrain from going into a mind state of you're trying to escape something, whether it's yourself, a situation, the now. You're trying to escape it and you're chasing this future thing. That's not what we're doing. Self-realization is an unfolding type of journey. It's an unfolding type of journey, not a progressing forward kind of journey. It's an unfolding type of journey, and each layer unfolds as you realize the layer that is currently open to you already, revealed. And you take what you see in the depths of those reveals to open the next layer, and it just unfolds in that kind of way. So there's no rush, there's no hurry, there's no competition. You're just competing against yesterday's version of yourself if you want to compete with something. But it's not a race, it's not to be graded, nothing like that. It's just an unfolding of self. And it's a beautiful process, and it's something that you have to learn how to take the good and the bad with. And so acceptance helps you through this journey. It helps you through your journey of self-realization, as well as just helping you to be an overall more pleasant human being to be around for other people and yourself, because you got to be around yourself too. So this is not an escape. This is, I guess you could say, finding your cool place in hell as well. Maybe that's a statement that could be parallel with acceptance, depending on how you look at it. But going back to this challenge, so 24 hours, I want you guys to do that. And that's going to take a good level of mindfulness, because you're going to have to realize when you are not, like I said in the beginning, in a state of acceptance, so that you know when to place yourself in a state of acceptance consciously. So because of that, I did want to talk a little bit about mindfulness. And you guys heard the bowl in the beginning. So yes, that does mean that at the end of this brief discussion, there will be Yoga Nidra offered. So please do make sure that when you get to that point, you are in a place where you can lie down comfortably or sit reclined comfortably without noises and distraction or disturbances or interruptions. Phone goes on focus mode, sleep mode, do not disturb mode, off mode, and nobody needs you, so that you can really enjoy and reap the benefit of Yoga Nidra. But going back real quick to talk about mindfulness and kind of tie it to this challenge of acceptance. And so I'll start it off with a quote by James Baraz. And the quote is, "Mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it were different. Enjoying the pleasant without holding on when it changes, which it will. Being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't." I mean, honestly, that quote alone sums up this entire episode of what it is that I'm saying. And finding that state of acceptance, mindfulness and acceptance are absolutely parallel. And in this quote, it tells you, you heard me say it, being aware of what's happening right now without wishing it were different. You can do this while you work on the changes that you're working on making, whether it's changes with yourself, your life, whatever it is. But you don't have to be in such a state of misery or discontent or unpleasantness as you work towards these things. So simply being aware of what is happening right now and accepting it without wishing it were different. Enjoying the pleasant without holding on when it changes, which it will. I swear, this is like a really big one. This is a big one that most of us don't even think about or consider. You know, life is like full of these highs and lows, right? Ups and downs constantly with your emotions, with events and things. Things are always changing. So there really is externally no way to find a consistent, stable, balanced state of feeling and being. You have to create that. You have to create that within. You're not going to find that outside of you. You're going to have to cultivate that within. So when something pleasant is happening, really be there and enjoying it. So still be in a state of acceptance and mindfulness when in a state of pleasure or experiencing pleasant things without holding on and attaching yourself to it when that pleasant thing fades off and it's no longer pleasant or no longer present. And this even ties into the previous episodes where we talked about shifting with the seasons of nature and with seasons of life. Seeing when the change is happening, when you're gaining or losing, and shifting with that without holding on and attaching. I know we want the pleasant stuff to stay forever and to last forever, but it's just an unrealistic and quite superficial desire. Because that pleasantness is cultivated within. You've got to build your internal environment up first. Being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't. It won't. Nothing lasts forever, good and bad. Everything is constantly changing. So even when you're in your unpleasant phases of life, struggle phases of life, discomfort, uncomfortable phases of life, and all of those things that we don't like, try not to attach yourself to the fear that it's going to always be that way. Because again, you're removing yourself from the now and you're not being very present. There's a lot of things to learn in those unpleasant moments. Those moments are really important. They're vital. They are vital. You should make it a point to not avoid or disconnect or distract yourself from those unpleasant moments, because that's when we learn our best lessons. That's when we get to really see. That's where you're doing your shadow work too. That's where you really get to see yourself. That's when you really get to see how your mind operates, how your mind responds to this unpleasant thing that's happening to you right now. And that is the time that you start working on. That's when you do your reprogramming, guys. That's why these unpleasant moments are so important, because it's giving you the opportunity to actually put forth action in reprogramming and redesigning your mind, your state of being and feeling. You have that opportunity. At that moment, you have an opportunity to completely change your story, to change how you're perceiving what's happening to you. So I feel like this acceptance mindfulness thing is just a huge key player in anybody, in any path towards balance, self-realization, peace, joy, contentment, success, happiness, and all those things that we all want. That's something that we all want. All of us, all of mankind want these things. Now you have other humans who want extra things like power and money and greed and all that. But that's just because they think that those things is what will bring them that contentment, that joy, that happiness. They're still shooting for the same thing. We're all shooting for the same goal here. It's just we don't all know how to go about achieving it. We still think that it's the external things and circumstances that's going to get us there. And that's not the case. We were here to learn how to cultivate that within so that then we can create this pleasant way of life on the outside that we all can collectively enjoy. That's why it's important to do this individual work, because it starts with all of us as individuals and that morphs into the collective. That's how we've gotten to where we are right now. We have collectively brought ourselves here. So let's jump in because I want to get to the Nidra. So just talking about mindfulness, let's just go over some more benefits of mindfulness. That's all I want to do. And then we'll get into Nidra. Mindfulness allows you to be fully present, right? I've said it, I don't know how many times in the past 20 minutes. And in the beginning, this takes time to cultivate. You have to continuously bring the mind to the present moment. So this takes patience. Don't be hard on yourself, criticize yourself, judge yourself. Just do it when you notice it and try to notice it as much as possible. Being mindful allows you to see things more clearly. Instead of identifying with feeling experiences, you can clearly see what's at play. That's the advantage of being able to kind of just remove the emotion and the feeling from it at times. So instead of you being the experience, it's basically like you're watching someone else go through the experience. That someone else is you. See what's at play. Is it pain? Is it anxiety? What is it? Explore, investigate. Whatever it is. Acceptance and mindfulness can help you see clearly what it is and recognize the experience that you're having. And then from there, you can really start to peel back and get to the root of why you're feeling the way that you are feeling. And the peeling back, the reason that we do that is so that we can peel back the external layers, as many as we can, so we can get to that deep inner layer. That deep inner layer holds the answers to our problems. That deep inner layer holds it shines the light. You have to get curious. You have to question all the thoughts that you have. You have to question the emotions that come across that seem like they have no source, or even if they do. And if that source is external, I still suggest that you start peeling back because it really is from within. Welcome to From Within. Being mindful also allows you to release judgment and release the need to label feelings and thoughts and creating expectations. I have this thing I like to say, manage your expectations. That's huge. That can be a whole nother episode, so I won't go into that now. But releasing judgment and labeling, so good and bad, right and wrong, positive, negative. Just let go of the judgments and accept what is presenting itself to you as it is. You don't absolutely have to judge it or label it or assign it to something or even believe your judgments that arise. You don't have to believe them. You should question them. This judgment is what brings about most of the suffering and mental chatter, because all day our minds are labeling, analyzing, and measuring and calculating what comes across its awareness. All that mental chatter, and it doesn't have to be there. You don't have to do that with everything that comes to your awareness. You can also just simply be aware of it and let that be enough. Let that be enough. Being mindful makes room for a balanced. It makes it so that you are able to remain balanced no matter the external circumstance, especially the difficult and uncomfortable ones. And this is not easy, but if practiced and mastered to a certain level, it can build major inner resilience and stability in the toughest of situations. And then you'll feel undefeatable. And with that comes much confidence. And with that comes a lot of breaking of barriers and obstacles. Acceptance is the bridge that leads to this balanced state of being, even in the toughest of situations. If you don't agree, let me know. So this balanced way of being is also mentioned, and the path too is mentioned in the yogic philosophy. This balanced state of being balanced in the midst of the highs and the lows. So like I kind of just talked about it before mentioning this, actually, we kind of discussed it already. Being in that balanced state and during the highs and the lows, because life's a roller coaster. And so the way that the yogi philosophy explains this is to not attach yourself, like I said before, to the pleasant things like you don't want to let go, and to not attach yourself to the unpleasant things through fear. Because fear is an attachment. Let me know if you don't agree. Fear is an attachment. You're attached to the fear of this thing, and it's literally blocking you. It's like a wall. So, non-attachment, the opposite of attachment is what? Acceptance. Non-attachment is acceptance. Being mindful, practicing mindfulness, helps you to just allow everything to just be and belong. Let it be, let it belong. Everything belongs. How dare we think that this doesn't belong here and that doesn't belong there and this doesn't belong here and that doesn't belong there. There's a message in it all. Everything has some type of purpose, the good and the bad. So who are we to say what belongs and what doesn't? Were we not put here to simply experience and create? So it's kind of weird to say what doesn't belong. We put it there. We created it some type of way. It didn't just appear and pop up. It was manifested. So how does it not belong? And if it doesn't belong, why did we put it there? All day we go through these bipolar emotions, right? Liking this, disliking that, up and down. Feeling happy, feeling great, feeling sad, feeling depressed. Because to every high, there's a low. To every high, there's a low. So think of it like that. If you're experiencing an ultimate high, whatever pleasant experience you're having in life, a circumstance, whatever, there's a low that comes with that. So why attach to that high, that moment, that high place? You can still enjoy it with all your heart and might. You just don't have to attach to it. So tough. So seeing everything, instead of playing this tug of war with our likes and dislikes, instead of playing this tug of war, just see everything as it is, and belonging there. What is the purpose of this thing? Everything belongs. No need to exclude thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Just pay attention to what arises from those thoughts, emotions, and experiences, and make space for those uncomfortable moments. Let those moments teach you something. Get out of your head. No need to jump up and try to fix and solve it immediately. We all have this habit or programming that when something goes wrong, bad, breaks, or whatever, we have to jump quick to fix it, find a solution immediately, ASAP. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you need to let it be and pull the message out of that. Find out if that problem, quote unquote problem, is it really a problem, or maybe is it a solution, or is it a bridge to something else? It's got a purpose. Is it to teach you? It's to teach you something. So you've got to figure out what it is that it's trying to teach you. Sometimes when we jump to fix a problem real quick, we're in autopilot. So we're going off of our, what we have stored in our subconscious minds as to how to fix this particular problem. And so we're basically going off of past experiences. And so while you may fix it, you also may find yourself in a loop because you're just kind of on autopilot with the way that you so-called fix things. Life is just balance. Sometimes the things got to be fixed, and sometimes things just got to be let be. Another thing about mindfulness, the practicing of mindfulness, is it brings you back to the beginner's mind. And I love this one. The beginner's mind is when you're able to observe things, people, and experiences and situations as if it's your first time, fresh eyes, fresh heart. We fall in autopilot mode as our understandings of life and the world grow, right? We think we know everything all of a sudden. It'll have you believing that you know exactly how things work. It'll have you believing you know exactly what you're doing. It'll have you believing that you know exactly what the outcome is going to be of your actions. And doing this closes you off to the new possibilities. Like I was saying before, you get into this loop. You're just creating the same experience. It closes you off to new possibilities and is the prime reason why you struggle to manifest and create new or better experiences. Having a beginner's mind helps you to stay open-minded and in the present with a fresh mind, going into it like a student, going into it like you don't know about it, with fresh eyes, with a fresh mind, a fresh perspective. Practicing mindfulness obviously cultivates patience because it takes a lot. Don't cling on to some outcome with this challenge of acceptance, guys. Don't cling on. Don't cling on to some outcome with this challenge. That'll hinder the progress. It'll be counterproductive because you're not in a state of acceptance if you're clinging. It'll bring about frustration, and then you'll be judging yourself, criticizing yourself. It's counterproductive to the challenge of acceptance. No expectations, but take many notes. Notice many things. Trust your process at all times, no matter how messy it looks or feels. Whatever your reason or intention behind practicing acceptance is, keep that in mind and don't forget why you're doing what you're doing. Don't forget that part. We often forget why we're doing what we're doing, why we're on the journey, because we've attached ourselves to some small goal. Whether it's a spiritual goal, a material goal, whatever your goal is, we've attached ourselves to that and lose sight of why it is that we're doing what we're doing. It's in the why. It's not really in the outcome. So this practice is not a race. Be kind to yourself, be gentle, and honor yourself. Allow space for growth, which means taking mental notes or journaling. Journaling is highly recommended during this time. Definitely want to record, jot down what you notice and experience during this challenge so that you can integrate it, what you've learned. Be kind to your thinking mind, your conscious mind, and remember no judging it or yourself. Just remember that acceptance for the next 24 hours is absolutely enough. So with that being said, we're going to jump into our Nidra. So go ahead and get in your position if you're not already there. Like I said, lying down comfortably on your back. The classic position for Yoga Nidra is lying on a yoga mat on the floor with props like a pillow behind your head, under your knees, supporting your arms. Wherever you want to put pillows, you can put pillows. If you want to lie on your side, you can lie on your side. If you want to lie on your stomach, you can lie on your stomach. But if the floor and being flat, even with props, is too uncomfortable, then go ahead and sit in a lounge chair. Make sure your feet are propped up. Whatever it is, get as comfortable as possible. Pause this if you need to, and we're going to head into our Nidra. Go ahead and close the eyes. Now that you're in your position, if your eyes are not closed, go ahead and close the eyes now. And keep them closed for the remainder of Nidra. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, feel the cares and worries of the day flow out of you. Again, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the cares and worries of the day flow out of you. In the practice which follows, you are going to develop the feeling of relaxation in the body. It's not necessary to make movements or deliberately relax your muscles. Just simply invite the feeling of relaxation. It is like the feeling that you have just before you fall asleep at night, when relaxation becomes deep. Sleep does not come yet, but you should try to keep yourself completely awake. So this is important. Make a resolution to yourself now. I will not sleep. I will remain awake through the practice. During Yoga Nidra, you are functioning on the levels of hearing and awareness, and the only important thing is to follow the voice of the instructor. You must not try to intellectualize or analyze the instructions, as this will disturb your mental relaxation. Simply follow the voice with total attention and feeling. And if thoughts come to disturb you, which they do from time to time, do not worry. Just continue the practice. Allow yourself to become calm and steady. Take a few moments to yourself to allow the body and the mind to become calm and steady. Now bring about a feeling of inner relaxation in the whole body. Concentrate on the body and become aware of the importance of complete stillness. Develop your awareness of the body from the top of the head to the tip of the toes, and mentally repeat the mantra, Om. Complete stillness and complete awareness of the whole body. Again, Om. Continue your awareness of the whole body. The whole body. The whole body. Become aware of the fact that you're going to practice Yoga Nidra now. Mentally say to yourself, I am aware. I am going to practice Yoga Nidra. Repeat this to yourself again. At this moment, we're now going to mentally repeat a resolve. And today's resolve will be, I will flow in the state of acceptance for the next 24 hours. Mentally repeat that resolve to yourself 3 times with full emphasis, feeling, and awareness. Now we begin rotation of consciousness, of awareness, by taking a trip through the different parts of the body. As quickly as possible, your awareness is to go from part to part, as I call them off. Repeat the body part in your mind and simultaneously become aware of that body part. Keep yourself alert, but do not concentrate too intensely. Become aware of the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the right waist, right hip, right thigh, kneecap, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth. Become aware of the left hand, thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left waist, left hip, left thigh, kneecap, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Bring your awareness to the back. Become aware of the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, right buttock, left buttock, the spine, the whole back all together. Bring your awareness now to the top of your head, the top of the head, forehead, both sides of the head, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, the right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, the nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin, throat, the right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, the navel, the abdomen. Bring your awareness to the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together. the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole back, buttocks, spine, shoulder blades, the whole front, abdomen and chest, the whole of the back and front together, the whole head, the whole body all together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Staying in total awareness, no sleeping or moving. The whole body lying there. Become aware of your whole body lying in its position on the surface that it's lying on. See your body lying perfectly still on the surface that it's on in the room that you're in. Visualize this image in your mind. Now become aware of your breath. Feel the flow of your breath in and out of your lungs. Do not try to change the rhythm. Breathing is natural. You are not doing it. There's no effort. Maintain awareness of your breath. Complete awareness of your breath. Don't let any inhale or exhale go unnoticed. Now, concentrate your awareness on the movement of your navel area. Your navel is rising and falling slightly with every breath. Each and every breath, it expands and contracts. Concentrate on this movement that's in synchronization with your breath. Make sure that you remain aware, focusing, being aware of the rise and the fall of the navel with each breath. Now start counting your breaths backwards from the number 27 to 1, like this. 27 navel rises, 27 navel falls, 26 navel rising, 26 navel falling, 25 navel rising, 25 navel falling, and so on. Say the words and the numbers mentally to yourself as you count your breaths. Be sure not to make a mistake, and if you do, just go back from 27 and start again. With total awareness that you are counting, continue your count from 27 to 1 with no mistakes. Now stop your counting of the navel breath and shift your attention to the chest. Your chest is rising and falling slightly with each and every breath. Become aware of this. Continue concentrating on the movement of the chest and start counting backwards from 27 to 1 in the same way as before. 27, chest rising. 27, chest falling. 26, chest rising. 26, chest falling. 25, chest rising. 25, chest falling, and so on, repeating the words and numbers mentally to yourself as you count. Making no mistakes, and if you do make a mistake, just go back and start at 27. Remain completely aware with your counting and your practice. Cease your counting of the chest breaths and move your awareness now to the throat. Bring your awareness to your throat. Become aware of your breath moving in and out of the throat. Become aware of this. Concentrate on the movement of breath and start counting backwards from 27 to 1 in the same way as before. Complete awareness of counting and breathing. No sleeping, just total awareness that you are counting. Continue counting your breaths in the throat until you reach the number 1. Cease your counting of the throat breath and now move your awareness to the nostrils. Become aware of the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. Concentrate on the movement of breath in and out of the nostrils and start counting as before, which you should know very well by now. 27 breathing in, 27 breathing out. Complete and total awareness. Continue counting with no mistakes. Stop your counting now and leave your breathing. We're now moving into visualization. A number of different things will be named, and you should try to develop a vision of them on all levels. So the level of feeling, awareness, emotion, imagination, as best as you can. And if you are unable to find this vision, then your relaxation is complete and enough for the time being. Remain in a state of acceptance. If you're not able to find the vision to the things that are going to be called off, then it just means you need a little more practice. Starting now, burning candle, burning candle, burning candle. Endless desert, endless desert, endless desert. Egyptian pyramid, Egyptian pyramid, Egyptian pyramid. Snow-capped mountains, snow-capped mountains, snow-capped mountains. Greek temple at sunrise, Greek temple at sunrise, Greek temple at sunrise. Coffin beside a grave, coffin beside a grave, coffin beside a grave. Birds flying across a sunset, birds flying across a sunset, birds flying across a sunset. Red clouds drifting, red clouds drifting, red clouds drifting. A cross above a church, a cross above a church, a cross above a church. Stars at night, stars at night, stars at night. Full moon, full moon, full moon. Smiling Buddha, smiling Buddha, smiling Buddha. Wind from the sea, wind from the sea, wind from the sea. Waves breaking on a deserted beach, waves breaking on a deserted beach, waves breaking on a deserted beach. The restless sea, eternal restless sea, eternal restless sea. Waves breaking on a deserted beach. Now is the time to come back to our resolve. 3 times mentally repeat to yourself, I will flow in the state of acceptance over the next 24 hours. Relax all efforts and draw your mind external now, becoming aware of your breath, your natural breath. Awareness of the whole body and breathing. Awareness of your body lying there totally relaxed on whatever surface that you're lying on. You are breathing quietly and slowly. Develop awareness of your body from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, and mentally say in your mind, Om. Repeat Om mentally to yourself twice more. Become aware of the surface that you're lying on and the position of your body lying there. Visualize in your mind the room around you, becoming aware of your surroundings through your mind's eye. The four walls, the floor, the ceiling, maybe furniture around or anything that you can visualize mentally of the room without opening your eyes. Lie there quietly for some time before getting up, and keep your eyes closed. When you are ready to rise, which can be at any time, it can take you however long it takes you to rise. But when you are ready, start by making small movements to the body, stretching yourself, really taking your time, not hurrying at all. And when you are sure that you are awake, you can rise. This completes our Yoga Nidra for today. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening and being here with me on this day, this evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. This is one of the longer episodes, but I truly hope that you enjoyed it and gained a lot of insight from it, and maybe even a little plan for yourself. I hope that you guys join me in this acceptance challenge. My 24 hours ended, but it was so amazing and great for me that I carried it on day after day, and I continue to practice that. I continue to be mindful of that. So as always, please do follow me where I be at. All of that information is in the show notes, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. Buy me a coffee link is there to show some love and support. I am looking to build my little community here, so I would love it for you guys to join me and tune in every week. So make sure to subscribe or follow, hit that notification button so that you can be notified of new episodes as they release every week. Currently, what Blue Lotus has going on for the month of October, I am offering 20% off of the Fall Cleanse and Detox, the Ayurvedic Fall Cleanse and Detox package. There is a promo code in the show notes, and you can use that promo code to receive your discount off of the cleanse. Also, please make sure to rate and review this episode, this podcast. This is how I get recognized and noticed. The more people that can listen in, the more that can benefit from this wonderful medicine. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an amazing remainder of your day, night, afternoon, whenever it is that you're listening to this, and that you go ahead and start that 24-hour acceptance challenge this very minute, 24 hours from right now. With that being said, I'll see y'all on the other side. Peace out.